Hey there, YouTube. Tristan Blaze here. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this North Carolina anti-trans bathroom bill. So I'm going to give you 26 reasons why you should fear politicians in your bathroom instead of trans people in your bathroom. Now, I'm reading this from the internet. And I'm reading this from the Huffington Post. It is a 2012 article put out in June 29th. Charlie Crist, former Florida governor, hit with several allegations that he paid two men to conceal gay love affairs in June of 2012. The charges were revealed in documents obtained by the local station WTSP relating to an investigation by former Republican Party of Florida Chairman Jim Greer. Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigative report reportedly contains details on an exchange between Chase and John Morgan, whose law firm Crist works at in Florida. Morgan stated that if Crist were homosexual, why would he have tried to kiss Greer, specifically stating Crist would have to be a sick son of a bitch to try to kiss Porky the Pig, in reference to Greer. How he looks, I guess. And of course, Crist repeatedly slammed the allegations as a bunch of delusional lies. Okay, Republican, former governor of Florida. Reason number one. Reason number two, Larry Craig. Former Idaho senator lost support of his fellow Republicans when he was arrested in June 2007 during a sting operation at a Minneapolis airport bathroom. Okay, so we're worried about trans people going into the bathroom and causing fucking chaos. We have a state senator from fucking Idaho who's a Republican, conservative, very anti-LGBT, anti-gay, anti-trans, you know those type of guys. It had been targeted by police following complaints of lewd behavior after Craig was caught allegedly soliciting an undercover officer for sex. Initially, he pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct, but later said he erred in doing so. Let me be clear, he said. I am not gay and never have been. I should not have kept this arrest to myself and should have told my family and friends about it. I was eager to share this failure. I'm sorry, I wasn't eager to share this failure, but I should have done so anyway. Though Craig announced his intention to resign from the Senate in September of 2007 in a news conference, he later decided to finish the remainder of his term. So, again, we're worried about a trans woman going into the bathroom or a trans man going into the bathroom, but if Larry Craig, a senator, former senator, walks in, you're perfectly safe, dude. Unless you have a dick, I guess, in which case he's probably going to want to have sex with you. James McGreevey. Democratic Governor James McGreevey of New Jersey, who had faced rumors about his sexuality in political circles for a year, disclosed that he was gay and had an affair with another man, and he would resign more than a year before his term would have expired. With his wife and parents standing beside him, the governor said that his decision to step down from office was prompted by the conclusion that the circumstances surrounding the affair would impair his ability to govern, with many suspecting he was referring to an extortion attempt made by a former aide. Now, at least this guy, and this really wasn't a bad thing. He just said, look, it's impairing my decision to resign. It's impairing my ability to govern. I have to resign. I give, James McGreevey mad props. Okay, but still, if you're a deep conservative individual, you have to worry about a lawmaker walking into the bathroom and propositioning you or being gay. If you fear that stuff, you have to fear your politicians too. Paul Babu, Pinal County Sheriff. Oh, he's a sheriff. I'm sorry, it's not a politician. Paul Babu, once considered one of Arizona's rising Republican stars, confirmed he was gay in February 2012 after reports surfaced that he had threatened a Mexican ex-boyfriend with deportation. Oh, wow, that was a good one. I haven't really read these. I was like, that was a good one. Oh, wow. At the time, Babu, who became one of the faces of the anti-illegal immigration fight in Arizona and nationwide, threatened a 34-year-old man identified only as Jose Ole with deportation if he disclosed details of their years, plural, years-long gay affair. You're such a bitch. Again, gotta worry about cops now. Cops might be... How are cops going to enforce this, man? How the hell can I go to Arizona if Arizona passes a law like this and expect to have that law enforced? I mean, hell, man. If I get a really, really good tan, I might have a sheriff try to suck me off, man. I mean, really? That's scary, man. Fucking scary. Troy King, Alabama Attorney General, reportedly caught in bed by his wife with his male assistant, made heavily anti-gay rhetoric part of his political mantra. Again, lawmakers, those are a bigger threat to your sexuality than a trans person. They're going there to take a piss or to take a shit. Not to piss on you, not to shit on you, not to jizz on you. They're going in there to relieve themselves. Why do I go to the bathroom? Why do I go to the bathroom to gaze at your meat? No, I go to the bathroom to relieve myself, dude. Or snort a wicked line of blow off of some, clown's boner. But, that's between me and Bozo the Clown. Robert Arango. 2011, it was revealed that Puerto Rican Senator Robert Arango, who was a very vocal enemy against gay marriage and gay rights in San Juan, Puerto Rico, had posted shirtless photos of himself on a gay dating mobile app, Grindr. Amidst the ensuing controversy, Arango resigned. And well, you should. Because I see a picture of you, and I'm not thinking shirtless is the way to go, dude. I'm thinking more like, I think a khaki, cargo shorts, wife beater type look would look a lot better. Carl Kruger, 2011, New York State Senator. No, I'm sorry. He's a New York Senator on the federal level, so he's in D.C. Pled guilty to corruption charges and sentenced to 7 years in prison. Kruger, who had voted against marriage equality in I'm sorry, he was a New York Senator, sorry. Who voted against marriage equality in New York State, fuck you, Kruger, by the way, was outed as gay amidst the controversy, as he had used bribe money to fix up a Brooklyn mansion with his intimate associate and co-conspirator, the gynecologist Michael Turano. At least it wasn't a proctologist. At least it wasn't that. Robert L. Traynam, 2005, Robert L. Traynam, who was the Director of Communications for Senator Rick Santorum. We know how vocal Rick Santorum is about, how amazing it is to be gay and how, they're good people. We are? Okay, just checking. Was outed to the public by blogger Mike Rogers. Although Traynam was openly gay and claimed he was already out to the senator, the fact that he was working for and continues to defend someone who opposed LGBT rights continues to anger critics. And well, it should. Okay? And well, it should. Jim McCreary, congressman from 88 to 2009, federal level. McCreary was accused of being gay by Gary Cathy, founder of ACT UP in Shreveport, who said that McCreary used his Louisiana college fraternity as a front for gay activity. Man, that brings, oh, hi there. Hi, Pounce. That brings Toga Night into a whole new meaning. According to The Advocate, 4 others have corroborated Cathy's statement at the time of his retirement in 2009. McCreary was serving on the powerful, mind you, Ways and Means Committee. That's a very powerful committee, okay? McCreary denied being gay and is one of the subjects of the 2009 HBO documentary about closeted gay rights opponents. The documentary is called Outrage. It's a very good documentary. I suggest you watch it. Dan Girlie, field director of the Republican National Convention, which in 2004 mobilized opposition against gay rights legislation. Blogger Mike Rogers, good job, outed Girlie, although in a 2009 interview, Girlie claims to have been open with his sexuality for many years and to many people. Many years, many people. Still, the public revelation raised a few eyebrows. Sure it did. And was covered in the HBO documentary Outrage. Now, this one ends on a better note, though. Today, Girlie serves on the board of a pro-LGBT organization, Equality North Carolina. So, I'm hoping he's leading the charge against this bill. I'm hoping he's leading this charge. So if he's not, Dan Girlie, Google that, shoot him some, hey, keep fighting the fight if you are, and if you're not fighting it, get the fuck in the fight. George Reckers, 2010. George Reckers, who is a gay conversion therapist and co-founder of the Family Research Council, a DC-based anti-gay lobbying group that has become a standard bearer of the nation's extreme right wing, white flower, was caught returning from a 10-day trip to Europe with a male escort he found on rentboy.com. Good website, by the way. The rentboy.com confirmed Riker's homosexuality, saying it's a situation where he's going against homosexuality when he is, in fact, a homosexual. When fucking smoke. 2010, Senator Roy Ashburn, Republican, California, was arrested for drunk driving after leaving a gay Sacramento nightclub, and in turn came out of the closet in a radio interview. Ashburn, who had been a fierce opponent of gay rights, claimed his 15-year crusade against proposed gay rights laws in the California State House stemmed from his desire to vote the way his constituents wanted. Well, at least this guy actually represented the people that voted for this jackass. And who said politicians are all corrupt? Jim West, former Mayor Jim West, faced accusation. Now, this is Jim West, not Adam West's brother, Michael West. And not his, distant relative, Northwest. Spokane Mayor Jim West faced accusations of child molestation stemming from the Spokesman Review's 3-year investigation and interviews with 2 felons who said West fondled them and forced them to perform sexual acts on him when they were Boy Scouts. I used to be a Boy Scout too, by the way. West confirmed to the Spokesman Review that he offered gifts, favors, and a City Hall internship during internet chats with a man he believed was 18, but vehemently denied the molestation charge. No, I offered gifts and favors and an internship at City Hall, which I work at, to someone who I believe is 18 years old. And yet this man, if he stands next to you in the urinal to pee, you're not going to be afraid, I guess, because he's a man and he was born a man, and that makes it okay. Bob Allen. Oh, man, this guy looks like he did some really fucked up shit. 2007, a Republican member of the Florida House of Representatives was arrested after allegedly agreeing to pay $20 to perform oral sex on an undercover police officer in the men's restroom of a public park. So, let's set the scene. A guy is going to walk up to you and pay you $20, not so you suck him off, so he can suck you off. Though Allen resigned later that year, the former politician had always maintained his innocence, albeit with some dubious-sounding excuses, including that he had sought refuge in the restroom because he was afraid of the undercover cop, who was black. That guy wanted some BBC, dude, didn't he? Oh, as well, he was also afraid of the other African American men in the park. Allen is quoted by saying, "The undercover officer is a pretty stocky black guy, and there's other black guys around in the park that, you know, I said that they're around here. You ought to know about that." That's the direct quote. That is literally what he said. The dude wanted to suck off some black dude. He's white, he wanted to suck off some black cock. But it's okay that he goes into the men's room, because you have nothing to fear, right? You know, you got nothing to fear from that guy. Edward Chirac. 2004, the two-term Virginia congressman resigned after voicemail messages he reportedly left on a gay phone sex hotline were released. The 63-year-old Republican is a known LGBT opponent. Did not address the allegations during his resignation, stating only that issues had arisen that will not allow my campaign to focus on the real issues facing our nation and region. At least one of Chirac's messages was uncovered by LGBT activist Mike Rogers, who published the clip on his blog and told the Post that he hoped to expose the congressman's hypocrisy in leading a secret gay life. Rogers noted at the time, "Why would my community protect him? He's the enemy. He's also the reason why we have lemonparty.org. Not teaparty.org, but what's tea without lemon? Lemonparty.org. Fight the power." Phil Hinkey. The Indiana Republican state lawmaker resisted calls to resign after allegedly offering a young man up to $140 for, quote, "a really good time," via Craigslist. 2011. Hinkey reportedly responded to the listings, in which Cameron Gibson indicated that he was 20 years old, according to the Star. However, Gibson says he's actually just 18. The lawmaker eventually admitted to making arrangements to meet Gibson in person, though he denied any intention of pursuing a sexual encounter. Again, we're worried about transgendered people going to the bathroom here. These are lawmakers that do this shit. These are sheriffs that do this shit. These are evangelical fucking leaders that do this shit. And we're worried about, you know, some chick that just went post-op who's going to the damn bathroom with your wife. We're worried about that shit. Okay, let's continue. I'm on 17 of 26. Richard Curtis, who served as a Republican member of the Washington State House of Representatives from 2005-2007, had voted against domestic partnership bill and a bill that would outlaw discrimination based on sexual orientation, and was found to have dressed in women's clothing and paid a 26-year-old male prostitute for sex. At which point in time, the male prostitute tried to extort $1,000 from Curtis, in which case Curtis took him to court, and after a very public investigation, he resigned. Okay. Jim Henson. During Mississippi Congressman Jim Henson's 1980. Remember, this is 1980. This is 1980. 1980, where being openly gay in a very gay area of America like San Francisco could still get your head cracked in. 1980. During his 1980 re-election campaign, he admitted that he was arrested after exposing himself to an undercover cop at the Iwo Jima Memorial in 1976. You bastard, I was a United States Marine. But he blamed it on alcoholism and personal problems, rather than being gay. Because, you know, that's, you know, whenever I expose myself to people, it's not because I want to, it's, you know, it's because I'm drunk and I have personal issues. In 1981, he was arrested again, this time engaged in oral sex in the bathroom of the House of Representatives with a Library of Congress clerk 10 years younger than him. originally attributing this act to personal turmoil. Sorry about that, video cut off. Because whenever I'm in personal turmoil, I'm like, man, I just got to engage in oral sex with another man 10 years my younger. Now, the video cut off, so I was still reading before I realized it cut off. Now, this ends on both a high note and a downer, because he died of AIDS. But the high note, soon afterwards, from his resignation, he came out as gay, and he spent the rest of his life as a gay rights activist. So he began to fight for the thing that he was opposing, which is good, which is how it should be, okay? But sadly, he died of respiratory failure resulting as a complication of AIDS at the age of 53. So it's positive in the fact that he realized that you can't just keep making this stupid law about you're gay, you're trans, you're bi, and, you know, fuck you people, you're not human. You can't do laws like that. It's just stupid. Okay? And he went on to fight it. But it's sad that he died of AIDS at such a young age. I mean, 53 technically is kind of young. Glenn Murphy Jr., 2007, Indiana-based Republican Party chairman, was charged with a Class B felony, criminal deviant conduct, after performing unwanted oral sex on a man who had allegedly passed out after a party at Murphy's sister's home. All right, boys and girls, word to the wise: do not perform oral sex on someone who was passed out drunk at a party. That normally would probably be considered rape, or at least some severe sexual misconduct. Murphy, who was the president of the Young Republicans National Federation at the time of the incident, originally claimed that the act had been consensual, but eventually pled guilty, ending his once promising political career. Hi there. Robert Bowman. Oh man, this is an old photo. This is like one of those like oldies, dude. This is like one of those like 1960s, 1970s, man. Hi. Hi, how you doing? Can you get off me, please? I'll help. Come here. Come here. Nope, nope, nope. God, that hurt. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those old, it's like 1960, 1970 photos. In Congress, Bowman established a reputation as a staunch conservative, often criticizing the state of morality in the United States. He was a founding member of several... Hi, Pounce. No, that's my camera. Pounce de Leon. Okay. He was a founding member of several conservative groups, including the YAF and the ACU, the Young Americans for Freedom, and the American Conservative Union, where he served as both national chairman. In 1980, in running for re-election, his own morality was questioned when he was charged for attempting to solicit sex from a 16-year-old underage male prostitute. After the charges were made public, Bowman said he was suffering from alcoholism and entered himself into a court-supervised rehabilitation program, upon which successful completion, the charges were dropped. Good luck doing that if you're not a powerful Republican. He stated he would continue his re-election campaign, but was defeated by Roy Dyson, who wasn't considered a serious contender before the charges were filed. Again, we're worried about politicians entering bathrooms. We need to be more worried about a Republican or a Democrat or a sheriff or an evangelical entering our bathrooms to piss next to us instead of a transgendered person. Mark Foley, Representative Mark Foley, Republican, Florida. It's always Florida, man. Jesus. Had chaired the House caucus on missing and exploited children. Oh, God. God, you're making this way too easy for me, man. You are. I mean, these are your people. They're conservatives, man. Was credited with writing the sexual predator provisions for the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act of 2006, which Bush signed in July of 2006, which is ironic considering it was reported in 2006 that he was sending sexually explicit internet messages to at least one underage male page. Now, pages are, they work for Congress, they work for representatives, they're like unpaid positions. It's kind of like intern, but, you know, it's different. No charges were made, and there was no physical sexual contact with the underage page. But former pages later came forth about having sexual relations with Foley only after they were of legal age. Scandal led to Foley's resignation from Congress on September 29th, 2006. Although he shied away from the public eye, he has recently gotten more involved with Florida politics. I'm hoping he's involved in a good way in Florida's politics. I don't know, it doesn't say. It just says he's, you know, rather involved. Ted Haggard. Although the evangelical preacher was not a politician, his close ties with George W. Bush imply that Haggard had a strong political agenda, which included challenging gay rights. Yay, this is probably going to be a good one too. In 2006, amid allegations that he had sex with former self-described male prostitute and bought amphetamines from the man, Haggard resigned from his post as president of the National Association of Evangelicals. 2011 GQ interview. After Haggard went, according to a 2011 GQ interview, after what Haggard went through, he's never been more capable, more called than he is now, and he walked through the fire and emerged with his family and faith restored. America. He also candidly admitted that I think probably if I were 21 in this society, I would identify myself as bisexual. But refrained from doing so at his age because he valued the sanctimony of love for his wife and children. Look, man, I don't know what you tell your kids. Alright, my wife knows I like trans women. My wife knows I'm trans attracted. My wife knows that shit. Alright? She's cool with it. Walter Jenkins, Lyndon Baines Johnson's top aide, Walter Jenkins, was arrested for performing oral sex on a stranger in a YMCA bathroom in 1964. Look, politicians, lawmakers, politicians, lobbyists, corrupt corporate influence makers and peddlers of America. If you're going to perform oral sex on somebody in a YMCA bathroom, please at least get their fucking name first. Put a name to the dick before it touches the lips. Okay? That's all I ask. Alright? You don't just want to blow anybody. You want to blow somebody you at least can put a face to and a name to. Like, who are you? I don't know, but you sat on my face last time. You don't want to have a conversation like that. Trust me, it's not fun. I've had those conversations before with women. It's just not that fun. Although Jenkins was a well-loved figure in Johnson's administration and Washington insiders were supportive of him, the taboo against homosexuality at the time spelled the end of his political career. Remember, this was at the very latest 1967, 1968, man. The very latest it would have been. And it was even done in 1964. This was 64, man. This was like right when like civil rights was like signed into law, basically. Okay, that's how far back it is, you know. It's like way back there, you know what I mean? Barney Frank. U.S. Representative Barney Frank, a Democratic congressman for nearly 30 years and the first openly gay member of Congress. First openly gay member of the House, almost undid his career after news broke that he hired Steve Goby, a male prostitute, who subsequently began hosting clients in Frank's house without his knowledge. Frank's career was by no means ruined, and he remains a vocal political force today. Now, this was done in 2012. I don't know if he's still in office. He might be. I don't know. Now, this was a sex scandal, so I wasn't really assuming it would be something like this. He was openly gay, so I have nothing wrong with that. But the fact that he hired a male prostitute who was hosting clients in your house, I would have ran some background checks on that one, Frankie. I would have. Really, man. Seriously. do a fucking background check. You don't want anybody just fucking dudes in your house. Okay? You want someone you can trust to clean up the stains on your couch at least. Or at least flip the damn cushions over so you don't notice it at least. I mean, shit, dude. That's what I would do. Jerry Stubbs, first openly gay person elected to Congress, who acknowledged his own homosexuality in 1983, and after a former congressional page revealed the two had had a relationship a decade earlier. Stubbs was censured by the House for having sexual relations with his subordinate, who was 17 at the time, but was reelected to the House 6 more times. Okay, so again, this is not one of those hypocritical guys. He's just an openly gay dude that had sex with somebody who was 17. All right, cool. Once again, not a bad guy. And that's it, man. The last two, man, were just normal, just, you know, they were openly out there and gay, so they were cool as fuck, man. They're cool as hell with me. Just, you know, kind of, you know, pick the people you rent your house to, and pick the people you bang a little bit more carefully, dude. Or at least wait until they're 18 or something, man. Or the law of consent, I don't know what it would be for homosexuality. I think it's different for states. Some states, the law of consent is 16 if you're straight, but 18 if you're gay. I think that's a stupid-ass law. But all the other people before us, all the other people before them, you're worried about trans women in the bathroom, about trans men in the bathroom. I'm not. Alright? I'm not. I'm more worried about politicians. You have a better chance of going into that public restroom at Applebee's or Chipotle or wherever the fuck you go out to eat. You are more likely to be propositioned by a very, very heavily leaning conservative individual for gay sex than you are for a trans individual for sex. Okay? The odds are way more stacked that that's going to happen. But you're worried more about a trans person. Dude, have you seen some of these transgendered women walking around, ladies? You really want women that freaking beautiful to go into your husband's bathroom? No offense, you're freaking stupid. So this has been your public service announcement by Tristan Blaze. I wanted to put my 2 cents in and show the hypocrisy of this bullshit that we're being fed by North Carolina. Peace out.